Seems someone lost their oh, you got it. Making a mess in the meantime. Woke up and it's snowing. It was supposed to snow until like from like midnight for only a few hours, but it's still snowing. That means I'm gonna have to drive in the snow. I've never driven in snow. Oh my gosh, I'm terrified. So it's not snowing super bad, thankfully, but don't think the roads have been treated yet. There's just slush everywhere. So thankfully everyone seems to be driving really slow and carefully. So you know, hopefully everything will be all right. So I got to work safely, which is good. Gonna be working pretty much by myself today. My manager, who sits right there, is out sick, so it will just be me here in the office. So two of my favorite ornaments from our tree are actually right next to each other, and it is this one to celebrate the fact that this is our first Christmas together in our new home, or in our first home together. And then this one, which is a little angel, little lady angel to represent my mom. So we got those next to each other because, yeah, they're my favorite. I really like them. So today was actually a really tough day. It was the 6-month mark of my mom's passing today. So it was a pretty tough day, like just emotionally and mentally. Thankfully I had a pretty chill day at work, and my boss was actually out, so I kind of had like my side of the office to myself, which worked out because I could just relax and work at my own pace. And you know, the few times that I felt myself get emotional, it was I didn't you know, because I still didn't want to do that at work, but I felt I still felt like I could feel the way that I felt for the most part. You know, it's tough, but so yeah, on a much lighter note, I've been feeling the desire to be more creative. I've always had this issue with my creativity where my hopes and sometimes my ideas far surpass what I feel is my level of skill. So that used to happen a lot in art class. I was in the International Baccalaureate program in high school, and we had like art programs that we would have. So you would do the pre-IB, which was the first 2 years, and then you had your true IB years, and you had to do like a focused project where I think for us it was kind of like you chose a theme, and then throughout the 2 years you explored that theme through artwork. And I always had these ideas that far surpassed what was my actual skill level, and a lot of it also had to do with confidence. I think I just didn't have the confidence to try a lot of the things, and I would get very frustrated very quickly. And I feel that way about writing. I've never felt that I'm the best writer. I've never felt I'm the best at expressing myself, just in general. Yeah, even just it takes a lot for me to feel confident talking to you guys about books. I feel like there's been a lot of, and I guess this is going to turn into a very casual discussion video. So I've been watching a lot of the discussions that have been going on booktube, and I've been thinking about my issues within the community and my issues being a creator. And for me, I can definitely relate to the topics that have been discussed: readers fatigue, feeling like you have to read certain things, feeling like reading has become competitive, have to read certain things to be popular or be a certain way, have certain aspects to your channel and maybe even to your personality for you to be taken to a certain level within the booktube community, and for you to be embraced at a certain level, numbers wise, you know, subscriber wise and views and things like that. And I can definitely relate to a lot of those. For the most part, I've gotten over a lot of that, thankfully. I'm not really sure how, so I can't really give advice. I mean, I guess if I really had to think about it, diversifying my viewership, I guess, really helped, because as most of us know, and as most of us probably experienced, a lot of us probably started watching booktube when and realized that obviously the YA centered channels and YA readers tend to attract a larger audience, and that may have been we may have been and we may still be part of that audience. And so when we created our channels, we felt we had to read certain books. A lot of us feel that way, and I think that's been discussed in some of the videos. So what I have found myself doing through time on the community as a creator and as a viewer is that I've tried to diversify who I watch, which has led to diversifying my reading, not just in the way diversity is spoken of typically, like reading authors of color, authors who belong to groups that have been oppressed, etc., but also just different diversified genres and types of authors and themes and things like that. So through that, I have gotten out of feeling a desire to, or feeling like I have a need to want to read certain things and to review certain things, because my desire to read these new books that I'm being introduced to far surpasses that that pressure that I may have felt. So I just became incredibly comfortable with my reading tastes and allowing them to evolve and following where those tastes led me. So that has led to my kind of getting out of feeling like I have to read certain things. And obviously I will still read books that may have hype, just because I trust a lot of booktubers, and a lot of booktubers may talk about a lot of different books that have a lot of hype. But in my own time planning my reading and my content, I am still actively looking for things that maybe people may not know. Like I'm buying books from Latin American authors that are not Isabel Allende and that are not Gabriel Garcia Marquez to read next year, and they're from authors that I have not heard anyone talk about on booktube. And my desire to diversify my reading and to read things that reflect my identity is so much higher than the pressures that I may feel from booktube to get viewers and to get subscriptions. That kind of it alleviates that pressure. So going back to what I was actually going to talk about, which was the issue that I find with booktube is that is a lack of confidence in my ability to discuss books, in that I want to do it in a way that seems very organized and very scholarly and very smart. I want to discuss them intelligently, and I can sit here and I can know to myself that I'm smart, and I can feel it, and I can express that to others. But it's tough sometimes to feel like that's coming across in my reviews of books and things like that, just because that melds also with my very casual way of being and with my very joking way of being. So sometimes I will talk very casually about a book, and I won't have any problem with that. But then I will watch some videos where the thoughts of the reader and the creator are expressed so eloquently and so succinctly that I have issues with my confidence level, because I want to be able to express myself that way as well. So it's this weird balance that I want to try to find, where me being very casual and joking around and talking to you guys about books and being very real me can that part of me can also be in balance with, so that part of me can still also come off intelligently, and that's to myself. Like, that's not an expectation that I have of my viewers. Like, I obviously want you guys to understand what I'm saying, and I want you to enjoy my reviews. But that is everything that I'm talking about is a very personal problem that I have with my own way of being and with my own way of reviewing books. In that I've always had issues feeling confident in my abilities, is really what I'm trying to get at. And so that's my issue with being a content creator, is feeling confident in the material that I'm putting out, feeling like I'm expressing myself eloquently enough, that I am showing you guys that I'm not just silly and whatever, like just sits in front of the camera and spews things type of person, that I can be that, but also be intelligent. But like I was saying, this is all my own perception of myself and the things that I create. It's not that I think you guys don't think I'm smart. It's all personal. So going back to my creativity levels, I've always felt like my ideas far surpass my skill, mostly just because I don't have confidence in my skill. So things like writing, things like art, things like making visual art, I've always wanted to do, and I go through these phases where I'm really thinking about it, and I will buy the materials and I'll try to get into it, but I'll get easily discouraged. So yeah, that's all of that was to tell you guys, Jesus, that I got some markers. Because I want to be more creative. I've been thinking about my creativity levels as I started off, as this whole thing started off. When I'm editing this, I am going to have a fucking field day, because I'm going to be like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, you are going from one thing all the way to another thing. So what I really want to tell you guys was that I got some markers, because I've been feeling the desire and the need to be more creative, and I wanted to try to do that in a space that felt comfortable and that I could and that I could ease into it without feeling too much pressure, because again, that whole lack of confidence thing. And so I got some markers to play around in my bullet journal. And I just got these off of Amazon. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're good because I was really bad. I have a hair, a comb on my hair. I got these on Amazon. I'm really bad about reading reviews. I did it very impulsively, so I hope they're good. I think the reviews that I read were good, but these are also the sponsored ones on the page. So I got these fine line pens in 24 vibrant colors, and so those are the colors. So I'm gonna try and use those, and then I got some watercolor markers because I've always loved watercolor, and I loved using it back in art class in high school. And so these are obviously going to be a lot more convenient to use. So I got these, and these have 24 colors. And I don't know if you can see them, but those are the colors right there. So it has greens and grays and reds and purples, and yeah, hopefully I can get into them and learn how to use them properly and enjoy making some pretty things with them. To be honest, I don't remember how this entire conversation started. So again, when I'm editing this, you're probably not gonna see most of what I was talking about. Yeah, it was a tough day, but ending it on a positive note. Going to see if I can. It is 11:35, so I usually try to go to sleep sometime before midnight, but maybe I'll stay up till midnight and either play with my markers or get some reading done, get in a nice headspace. Lewis is studying right now, so it's just Galileo and I right now. As always, thank you guys for watching. I love and appreciate you guys very, very much. And yeah, until next time.